Good morning.
Good morning.
So, these things we will be covering today, and then we will go for validation rules, how we can create validation rules. And if time permits, then we will look for other things as well. So, let's start with creating different fields. Suraj, do you want to share your screen? Because these are hands-on sessions. We have to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So, Suraj, share your screen.
Uh, yes, sir. Now visible.
Nope.
Now.
No.
Mhm. Wait. Yes, sir. Cannot share your screen. It's disabled. Can you please like enable? Hello.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Yes.
Can you try? Let's not waste time, everybody's time. Let me share my screen. Let me just log in.
Sir, again it's disabled. Not.
Sir, I have shared my screen. Is it visible?
Yep, it is visible. So just go to opportunity object or go to any custom object. You have already created some custom objects. So just go to any custom object. Create two date fields. Simply date, start date and end date.
Okay.
Others can continue in their org. Visible to all. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Let it add it in the application layout. Great. Now let's create one field, one formula field, where we can check the start date and end, the difference between start date and end date. Okay. So the requirement is we will be looking into the date difference. So how we can do that? Now, say there is one field like one record where we have start date as 1st November and end date as 5th November. Then what is the difference? Like how many days that application was open, right? If we have to look into that, then what we have to do, Shreya? Shreya, you are in mute if you are
Yes.
talking.
Sorry, sir. Could you please repeat what you have asked?
So I just need to look into the difference between the dates. Okay, that is what is my like for how many days the application was. It is an application object. So how many days the application was open?
So, sir, we'll create a formula field, and
Mhm.
the custom fields which we have made for application object. We'll choose the start date, put an operator which is a minus sign, and then add another custom object which we made, that is the end date.
Custom field, not object.
Custom field, sorry, sir.
Right.
Custom
And
field.
it should not be start date minus end date. It should be end date minus start date because end date is my the later date, right?
Yes. Okay.
So let's do it
Okay.
and let's see how it works. So what would be the output type?
So date,
If I subtract two dates, then what I will get?
I'll
We will get number of days, that is integer value we will get, right? So let's look into these two things. First, the simple formula. Go to simple formula tab. Right. Here we can put any kind of simple formula. For that, what we have to do, we can just select the fields from the top, that is insert merge field. If we click on that, we should be getting all the fields. And in right hand side, we have insert operator, like which operator we want to use, add or just give me a second. So here we can put the fields and we can put the operators. If these are uh, simple things like I only have to add two numbers, subtract two numbers, subtract two date. These things can be done with simple formula. But say I need to uh, get the value of the, say I have to do some substring. Substring means I have a complete string. From that, I have to just fetch few parts of that string. Say I have a date where the date is written in this format, that is 10th March 1994. I need that March and all are segregated by dash. Now I have to segregate the March, only this month. So I can convert that date into string, and from there I can use the substring functionality. So this kind of complex or advanced kind of formula we do from the advanced formula tab. So whatever can be done in simple formula obviously can be done in advanced formula. And in right hand side we can see all the functions through the category. If we want to segregate, or we can just go, want to put some we go for specific things, just click on all categories. You should be getting the string function, numeric function, all these things. I'm not sure why you are not finding that. At the top you have the filter. So sqrt is square root. Okay, null value checking is one of the important thing. Substring substitute is another important thing. Text is something, converting something into text. Okay, today is today's date. So go through this list and go through all the things, all the functionalities. Trim is one of the important thing, like it will uh, cut off the initial and the, if there are white spaces, blank spaces in front of one string and end of that string, it will cut off. Trim will cut off those blank spaces. Now let's write the formula which we have started for this. So we can simply put insert field. We don't need to write the fields. So in application, we have end date. First select end date, insert. Now put the subtraction, minus operator, subtract. Now again insert field. In application, we have start date. Fine. Uh, so what was the output type you have selected initially? So just go back once. No, not from there. Scroll up. Previous. If you click on back button, you might get out of this screen as a whole. Have you clicked previous, Shreya? Right. It should not be date. It should be number. Scroll down. So output type must not be date. It should be number. Difference between two dates. I don't need decimal place here, right? It will always be whole number. So it would be 0. Now click next. So whatever we have written previously, it is there. Now scroll down. Whenever we are writing anything, we must be checking with this check syntax. Okay. And the description and help text comes here in this screen, not at the first screen. Okay. Also, we have another thing, that is treat blank field as zeros. We have created as number field, right? So if there is, if the field values, whatever field values are, like if the field value is not present, then what should be the value? So we will be treating that as 0. That's what we have selected. We can treat blank as well. Now let's move next. Visible to all, the next, and save. So everybody completed this part till now? I'll take that as yes. Let's go to the sales app from where we can create one record. Straight up. Let's go to application. Do one thing. Go to that nine dot, view all, write application here. So this object is not added in this. There is no thing fields created. That is good. Cross it, cross the one, close it, and go to setup. So I believe you have already created the custom objects in the last class, right? In the trailheads, and how to add a custom a custom object, how to add that as a tab. I believe you have completed that step.
Mhm.
So let's do that. Let's add it as a tab and add it in cells.
I'll go to the setup first, right?
Correct. We have to
Setup.
go to the setup.
Yeah. Then not create, already created.
If we have already created the tab,
Uh,
then it
mhm.
is fine. If we haven't, then we have to go to the tabs, and under
Okay.
that we have to create one
Custom
custom
object.
tab where we have to select the object as application. Here the object name is application. That's why I am referring to application. If you have given some other name, then you can do that. So let's do that. Shreya, your screen is freezed, and also I cannot hear you. You are in mute.
Just a second.
Yeah.
So is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. Now create that custom tab. That is app. You don't need to create the app. Close it. Confirm. At the left hand side where you have searched app, just write tab. Click new. Custom object tabs. Select object application. Select one style. Yeah, next. It is default on. It is included for all. Now save it. Great. Now go back to the sales app. Go back to the sales app where you can go to the tab. Again, your screen is freezed. It seems like
So is it
now,
visible?
yeah, now it is visible again. So here we can see the applications, right? Let's create one new application. Put the application name, anything, application one. Just yeah, put the start date and put the end date. Now one point. The formula field we have created and we have added, that is not appearing here. Why? We will come to that. Let's put the start date and end date. Why you are typing? You have the calendar, right? You should be selecting it from there. Put the end date as later date, something is third. Now click save. Fantastic. We can see the difference in date here, but not in that create or edit screen. Why? Because formula field is something which will actually uh, not writable. That is a read-only field. And how formula field works in the layout, whenever it is rendering, at that time it will calculate. At the back end, it will calculate. So generic practice, best practice, formula fields should not be used in ideally should not be used in reports or the heavy work, because runtime it will calculate first, and on top of that it will do the remaining things. So best practice, if possible, avoid formula fields in filters of reports. Okay. So anyway, we have given two dates. So what is the date difference? We can get it. Now let's go back to that application list view once again. Now let's create another. Yeah, go to all. Let's create another application. Application 2. So start date should be any date you are providing, just put that date. And the end date should be previous date, previous to 1st December. Any date previous to 1st December. Yeah. Just select today's date. That is fine. Yeah. Now save it. So what is coming as date difference as -9? Technically, it is absolutely fine. But according to business logic, if I am just trying to create one application, can the end date be previous to start date? Logically, no, right? Logically, it cannot be. So, what we can do, what we have to do, whenever we have this kind of scenarios, we should be using validation rules, right? We should be creating validation rules so that user by mistake should not be able to select one start date which is later to the end date. Let's do that. Let's go to setup, and let's go to application object.
Sir, is it visible? Hello.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, in application we have just left hand side, scroll down. Here we have validation rules, right? Go to validation rules. So right now there is no validation rule, but first we are going to create one. So click on new, put some name. Date. With application validity, we cannot understand what is going to happen. So ideally, we will be putting as uh, validation on date. Application validation on date. something which is meaningful, which will in future after 3 months when I will be coming and looking into the things, I should be uh, I should be clear what I am doing. In the description, we can just check that in description we can write end date cannot be greater than start date. Great. Now let's come to the box. Here, what is happening? We already have that example, but important thing. What is this text box? This red mark means it is mandatory. It is the condition. Always remember, if the condition is true, only then this validation will fire. So it is the negative thing that we have to check. So my positive scenario is start date should be greater than end date, right? Ideally. So what I am trying to block is that end date should not be greater than start date. So here the condition must be, go to insert field, application end date, insert, then we have the greater than. Why not greater than equal to? Anyway, we will come to that. Greater than, and then insert start date. Great. Now what is the error message? Copy the description, whatever you have written in description, put the same message. Copy this one, put in the error message. So this error message will be shown. Now where it would be shown, what is the location? So error location is top of page here. For now we can select field, just select field, and on which field it should be shown. So that application name, just click on that name, application name. So we should have the other fields as well, whatever is coming. For now we are putting that top of the page. So ideally, if the validation is specific to a field, here it is not specific to one field, both start date and end date needs to be looked for, right? If it is something like there is one field which is a number field, but that number field cannot be less than 50, if that is my validation, then ideally I should be putting this on that field. I will be selecting that field and I will be selecting the name of the field in this validation rule, so that if there is any issue, user can check, like it will appear at the bottom of the field. Okay, we will come to this. We will come to this. No issue. And now save it. Great. One important thing is this active checkbox. Active means this validation rule is active. Otherwise, this, if we do not activate it, then it will not fire. The validation rule will not fire. When we need to deactivate things, generally at the time of data loading, whenever we are doing bulk data loading, at that time we generally deactivate validation rules so that data load is not failed. But we have to also remember the quality of the data. If we are uploading after deactivating the validation rules, the quality of data might be poor. So depending upon the business requirement, like say I have lakhs of records and I don't worry about the data quality. I only have to upload it. In that scenario, I will deactivate. If the scenario is there are 10,000 records and I only need the proper records to be in the system, at that time of data load, I must not deactivate it. Okay. Now let's go back to application object. The second application, whatever we have created, let's edit that. Yes. Click on edit at the top or in the pencil sign, whatever it is. Now try to save it. Directly save it. So the validation rule is not uh, proper till now. Let's look into that. Just wait. Create one new application and let's see what happens. Put the end date as previous date. Yeah. Put save. So that validation rule is not in place till now. Let's go to that validation rule. Let's see what is that. Hmm.
Sir,
That
actually, the formula we have written like end date is greater than the start date, whereas it will be reversed, right? So,
correct. Correct. Error condition is start date is greater than end date, which should not happen. End date is greater than start date is the standard one. So the negative thing we have to do. Just edit it and put that start date greater than end date. Ideally, it should be yeah. End date less than
I
start
can
date.
just change the operator as
Correct.
less than one.
Correct. Let's go to application object once again. First, we will try to edit application 2 or application 3, and then we will write, edit, and save. So, end date cannot be greater than, cannot be less than start date. So, both the things I have told opposite. End date cannot be less than start date or previous to start date. That should be the error message. So that also we have to change. Anyway, we have got the error message. We can see that where the error message is coming. And now let's create. So that means in both the scenarios, create and edit, this validation will work. If we create, then also you can find that it will throw that error. Now let's try to delete this, delete the record. From that screen only we could delete, but anyway, delete it. So it got deleted. That means validation rule is fired only the time of create or edit. At the time of delete, it does not fire, right? Now let's go to recycle bin. Shreya, do you know how to go to recycle bin? Go to that 9 dot and type recycle bin.
So is it visible?
No. Yeah, now it is visible. Now, what is recycle bin? This is one of the important thing. Whenever we are trying to delete records, it will go to recycle bin until and unless the number of records are huge. Okay. So we can do permanent delete or we can do normal temporary delete. Temporary delete, it will get stored in recycle bin. From recycle bin, we can restore one record which is deleted. So select this record application 3 and click on restore at the top. It is restored properly. Correct? This action is called undelete. So in Salesforce, what kind of actions we can perform from UI or from the backend as well? That is insert, that is create of record, edit, that is the update of record, then delete and undelete. One of the important feature in Salesforce is undelete, but recycle bin has a very limited space. So if I am removing or deleting records in bulk, only the latest records will be in recycle bin. The previous records will get out of recycle bin, like those are permanently deleted. And it happens only for record, not for the configuration. In for configuration, if we delete it, it will not get stored except fields. Only fields can be restored, except that other things cannot be restored. So this is one of the important things which we wanted to cover. Now,
Sir, is there any range between like something range in recycle bin from here to
yeah,
where our data
there
stored?
are there is a specific number of record you can store in recycle bin. I forgot that number. Just check that in Trailhead. It is already there in Trailhead. Like
Yes,
how
sir.
many records can be there in recycle bin? In recycle bin, we can just come and empty the recycle bin as well. Okay. Now, I want you to write one validation rule. That is, whenever we are uh, creating one application, your start date cannot be previous to today. Okay. So the I can create future applications. I can create applications from um, today, but I cannot choose start date as previous date. I want you to write this validation rule. Just complete that one. I'm coming back in 5 minutes. It should
Sir,
not take.
could
Mhm.
you please tell it once again?
So your start date must not be previous to today. For the custom object, for you it is application. For anyone else, if there is any other object, wherever we have created the start date and end date field, the validation you have to put is that you should not be able to choose previous date. That is, if you choose a previous date to today as a start date of the application, the system should throw error and it will say that start date cannot be previous to today. That's it. Clear, Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just complete it and I'll check it first. And then I will go for the relationship. That would be the last part we will be covering today. Please let me know once it is done.
Sir, it's done.
Yes, Rhea. I have heard. I'm just waiting for the others. Take 5 more minutes and let's complete that. Let's move ahead. You do this thing by this week. If there is any issue and if you cannot do this, then we will discuss this in next class, right? It is very simple. Only we have to go to validation rules. We have to create one validation rule. From that validation rule, we have to check. Like you can see, there will be one value which can be utilized, that is today. So start date cannot be previous to today. That logic you have to frame, and the message would be simple. But the important thing here is that the error message we should be putting at field level, not at top of the page. Okay, so that is the thing we are about to achieve with this assignment. Now, let me go through the relationship of the objects. So this is one of the important thing we have to understand. Okay, first thing is that what or how we can define relationship between different things. So I will come to standard and custom object later, but important thing is that what kind of relationship it can have. Say when I am putting my application, say I am applying for any course. Okay, for that I have to put the application details. Now the mandatory details is that we have to do graduation. Before that, like to apply for that course, we have to minimum we have to do graduation, and we need to put the details of 10th, 12th, and the graduation. What is the percentage and what is the year of passing? Because say the business logic is, if the gap between if there are gap between more than 5 years in our study, then we cannot do this or something like that. So anyway, when we are putting the application, the result, or say the academic details, if that academic details is my mandatory thing for that application, I have to store that data of academic details. So how we can store that details of academy, like what all these academic details, how we can store that? Obviously one application will have like people can have different discipline, and like I told that the minimum thing is graduation, but it does not matter. Like if I have done masters, if I have done PhD, or if I have done masters in different languages or different streams, right, then also I can apply, right? So for me it is not a defined set of values that one application can have. Academic details of one person, for two different people it can be different, right? One person is graduate and applying for this applying for this course. Say another person is has done masters or say PhD, and that person is also applying for the course. So I don't know how many details, but I need all the details, all these details. So in that scenario what will happen? Like one application will have course application will have multiple details of that person will have multiple details of their academy. So in that scenario what I have to do, I have to create one child object of application. So that child object will have all these details. Like every row in that child object, there will be different academic details of that person itself, right? Correct? Till that part, till whatever I have told, is it clear to everybody?
So could you just say it in once more?
Say I have to say there is one course for that I am going to apply. The minimum criteria, like the criteria for application is that whatever is my academic details, all the details I have to provide. Okay. To store these details, how I can store these details? Within application, I cannot store because different people can have different details regarding the academic qualification. So I have done my 10th, I have done my 12th, then I have done my graduation, then I have done my masters. Say another person has done only till graduation, not till masters. Say one person is not graduated, only done 10th and 12th. So I don't know, like, what details will appear of that applicant regarding the academia of that person, right? In that scenario, there will be multiple details of academic records of that person when that person is applying for the course. Clear, Shreya?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Now, if I have to get into like if we have to store these details, what I have to do? So under application, I have to create one child object. In that child object, I will have those details like I can just put what is the course or what is the grade they have passed, in which year they have passed, and what was the percentage. So I can just write 10th and the percentage was 75. Say my next record will be something like I have passed 12th, and in 12th I have passed in some year, and say that was 80%. Then I have done graduation. So all these records will be created under one application, correct? Then how we can define this kind of relationship in Salesforce? The way to define is that wherever we are creating child, we will go to that child object, we will create that child object. In that child object, we will create lookup relationship or lookup field of the parent object. Okay. Say, let me share my screen quickly. Then it would be easy. Somehow my network is little slow, so just bear with me. Okay, so there is no custom object named application. I am just creating one custom object. Application in plural. Applications starts with vowel sound. And then data type text. Allow reports, allow activities, allow field tracking. What is field tracking? We will come to that. Um, not allow search. Not no. Fine. Let's quickly create two fields here. Start date. Indeed. Fine. Always put the description. And what is help text? Indeed. Something like that. I am not going for the details for now. Let's save it. And in Object Manager, let's create one. Just give me a second. Please let me know if you can see my screen once again. Mm,
Yes, sir, visible.
So here I will be creating one text field, grade length 255 is the maximum. We must, I'm putting it as required, visible to all. Next. So then I'm creating a percentage field that is result percent. I'm putting length 18 decimal place 2. I'm making it required once again, and I am creating another field that is for now I'm just creating as text. So here. Now, most important thing. There are two types of fields. One is lookup, one is master detail. So what is lookup and what is master detail? Lookup is loosely coupled relationship. Now, if I have to, I have created this custom object. Now, if I have to make it as child of application, then I have to create that relationship between these two objects, right? That is the object application and the object, this one, whatever we have created, academic details, right? Now this academic details, if this is child of application, then where we have defined that relationship, that relationship is lookup relationship or master detail relationship. So how lookup and master detail is different? Master detail means there must have some value. If I create master detail, then we can do the cascaded delete. Cascaded delete means if my parent record is deleted, then my child record must be deleted. That will automatically gets deleted if we define that cascaded delete. In lookup, we cannot do that cascaded delete. Okay. So lookup field, we can make the lookup field mandatory, that is fine, but we cannot make it mandatory that once the parent record, like say somebody has done some application and I am deleting one application. So do I need to keep that academic details of that application? Ideally, no. Ideally, no. In that scenario, I have to define it as master detail relationship, and then we have to enable that cascaded delete. For lookup relationship, it is not going to happen. If I make it as lookup relationship, we cannot put that cascaded delete. Second thing is that lookup to master detail and master detail to lookup, can we convert between fields? Can we put the can we put the can we interchange it? Like I have created one field as lookup. Tomorrow I want to edit that field and I'm trying to convert that into master detail and vice versa.
Yes, sir.
Task,
Firstly, I'll convert, yeah, master.
sorry, Suraj, you were saying something. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, sir. Firstly, I'll convert into master detail.
Master detail to lookup is direct conversion. We do not have to bother
Yes,
about this
yes, sir.
because it is tightly coupled. This is loosely coupled. I am relaxing, so there is no issue with that. But lookup to master detail, if we have to do that, we have to ensure that all the existing records will have this lookup relationship field populated previously. Okay, that is one important thing. If I create one lookup field, lookup relationship field, and then I want to convert that into master detail, then I have to check all the records and check in this lookup field, all for all the records this field value must be populated. Okay, that is one of the important thing. So there are two types of relationship we have checked here. Let me just create it quickly. One lookup relationship, I can from this list I can select it should be application and then next. There is another thing. What is child relationship name? The object name is taken by default. I can change it as well. Okay. Always required. You can understand what is that. What to do? So we can simply clear out this lookup field value. If the parent is deleted, then I can choose this that uh, it will only clear the value of the field. It will not do anything else. Okay. There is another thing which is called filter. Depending upon filter, we can allow someone to choose like which lookup field value, in this lookup field value, which records will appear and which records will not appear. That filter we can choose it from here, from this screen. Okay, I'm not going to that. I'm just simply creating next. and save. Now, uh, I have to create that tab, object application. Ooh, is there anything else which can be utilized? Let me put it car. So default on for everyone. Next, save. Let me quickly create one application. App1 start date 9th, end date 29th, save. So in the related, I have this academic details. This is the child. I can create it from here simply. So application name, it should not be application name, something else. Say the grade is 10th, result is 72.34. You can see this percentage sign coming automatically. Say pass out year 2000. I have saved it. Fine. Let's open this record. Now, this is application. I have my child. I have added one child. And if I go to this record, we can see this application field is actually relating with this academic details to the application. So if I have to create one child object, what I have to do? In the child object, we have to create the lookup relationship, not in the parent object. Always remember that. Now, say if I delete this record, what happens to this record? This record is still there, only this application lookup is gone. Clear to everybody? I believe it is clear to everybody. If I have to do some relationship, how I can do that? I can just look for the existing applications and I can just put it there. It is appearing again. Okay. I could have just come here and initially you could have checked that there is no application academic details, and then I could have put this field value and we can upload it. So that's how we can put the relationship. Now, difference between lookup and master detail you have got, I believe. Now the important thing is that what what other kind of relationship we can have. Now let me go to one Excel and let's try to look into what types of relationship we should be looking into. So we have covered lookup, master detail. There can be self lookup, and there can be junction object. These two we have already covered. These two yet to be covered. What is self lookup? When I should be creating self lookup? Uh, is anyone saying anything? Okay. So what is self lookup? Like say I have one company. Okay. Say company, the name of the company is TCS. And I have another company which is Tata Sons. So if there is relationship between these two companies, how I can define it? So for me, it is account, right? Both the companies I will be storing as account. Then how I can tell that Tata Sons is parent of TCS? The concept of parent, self-parenting, or the hierarchy, the concept of hierarchy, account hierarchy, company hierarchy. In case of I have to define some hierarchy, say there are different types of products in a system, okay, but that product has some hierarchy. If this kind of hierarchies are handled through self lookup. So what is self lookup? In say application is my object. In the application I am creating one lookup field of application itself, which is self lookup. Technically that is a lookup field, but ideally from for our understanding I am telling it as self lookup. When I should be using this kind of thing? When I have to define a hierarchical relationship. Fine, clear. Now the other thing, what is junction object? Say I have obj a, I have obj b. From lookup to using lookup or master detail, what we can achieve, or what kind of relationship we can establish from this one? Ideally one to many. One application can have multiple academic details. If it is one to one, with some validation and logic, we can do that as well, that one parent will have one child only. I will not allow to create another child. In that scenario, that would be one to one relationship. Here it is normally lookup and master detail is one to many. But if I need to have many to many relationship between obj a and obj b, I need to have many to many relationship. Like many a can have many b, like a and b can be joined in different orders. In that scenario, what I have to do? In that scenario, I will create another object, objc. In objc, there will be lookup of a and lookup of b. Both the lookup I will create. I will create two lookups in one object. Then what will happen? If I create a record of C, I can put any value of A, any parent of A, like A can be parent of C of any record. For B also I can do the same thing. So it will define the many to many relationship. So to define many to many relationship in Salesforce, what we have to do, we have to create one junction object, like one object with two lookups, which is called as junction object. And in that junction object, through that junction object, we can achieve this many to many relationship. Fine. So what we have learned today, like how we can create custom formula fields, how we can create validation rules, how we can create lookup, master detail, what is actually hierarchical relationship, and what is many to many relationship. We have covered all these things today. So uh, we are moving in good pace. So uh, you need to cover all the trailheads till this part and the next ones. So important thing for everybody is that completing the trailheads in between and come up with the questions if you have any. So first 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes of every meeting, we can just discuss the points. If there is anything which is or any question anywhere you are stuck, that we can discuss first, and we can move on with the next set of things. Right. So that's it for today. I'm not going to cover any new topic today anymore, like beside this, because it is quite something we have learned today. We should be creating custom objects, we should be creating the child objects, we should be creating the lookup and master detail, and try to delete the records and try to find out what is happening at the background. That is one thing we should be doing hands on. Second thing, we should be creating self lookup, and we can just define the hierarchy. How we can define the hierarchy, that is one of the important thing. And also we should be creating uh, custom object with two lookup fields of two different objects, which will become the intermediate, or the junction object. What is the what is the based, like there can be multiple examples. Like one simple example is that nowadays people are doing not they are not doing permanent jobs, right? So one person, say one delivery person, that person is working in say in Amazon, in Zomato, in Flipkart. So for me, these three are three accounts, right? There will be three different accounts. One is Flipkart, one is Amazon, one is Zomato. And one single person can be associated, or can be, like, say that person is primarily working in Amazon, but that person is having subscription for these two as well, and that person is delivering uh, for Flipkart and Zomato as well. In this scenario, how I can define this account contact relationship? There is a standard object. Let's not get into that. So you should be creating one custom object, custom junction object, where both account and contact relationship should be there, right? And this person, this contact will be associated in that table, in that custom table, will be associated with Amazon, with Flipkart, and with Zomato. So try this out as well. This should be another thing you should be trying out. Fine. Any question? Any confusion till now? So silence means there is no issue, or you do not have any query today. So let's close this class today here. and we will start with new things in next class. Primarily, we will look into data upload, how we can do data upload in next class.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.